Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is week 4, the end of month 1 of our Mega Dungeon, Dane's Watch, the level 1. So here's an overview of what the entire thing looks like. It wasn't entirely done randomly, but it was close. All of this stuff from this side over was random, and then I just filled these two rooms in. I'm going with Kievar's really good suggestion because there aren't always 28 days in a month. Actually, only February has it, right? Rather than doing an odd number of days and getting the weeks kind of screwed up, that way I used the last couple of days in January after the 28th to just sort of clean up, position a stairway because none of them rolled up, and sort of just flesh out what's here. Now we got a couple of things we have to keep track of for later levels. We don't know where the goblin base is in this mega dungeon, so we're going to need to do that in like one of the top two levels. I don't think they should be too far down. We don't know where the lycanthrope base is unless this is the only one here, 14. It could be, and we don't know like who's running the stars, which are these pentagrams that we use demon names to go on to other levels, and there are going to be allies of these demons. So one of the things I've done today is flesh out the demon lords. So we have them all. Turns out most of them are female, just by random rolls. So let's go over the last area, which is 22 through 28, and just talk about what's in each part of this area, and then we'll kind of go through the overview, talk about the demons and all of that. So the theme of this was a city. So what I decided to do here was this part of the keep was the sort of civilian part of the keep where the city parts were. So the markets and things like that. Now, most of them of that's been destroyed. There's probably sections out here that were present that have been destroyed, but what's left are these 22 through 28. And so number 22 is an old shrine. This used to be used as a shrine to Phaetix, the god of oracles. So Phaetic is the god of oracles and prophecy, and his clerical domain is knowledge. And he rules Yomen, the plane of destiny. So I made him up. However, the benches have been broken and shoved aside, and the statue of Phaetix has been smashed, and in its place has been erected the blasphemous statue of Malgoran, the demon lord of ruin. So Malgoran is the demon lord of ruin. He appears as a man with a scarlet parrot head, dressed in nothing but leather armor and crackling with energy. He carries a spear and dwells in Brigaz, the land of crumbling decay. And a lot of that was randomly rolled, and some of it I just came up with. Um, so, uh, there isn't much in this room. There are old barrels marked with an unknown stamp, and a strong smell of vinegar smell of wasted wine permeates the room, and there's a mixed with decay and dust. Success on an occult skill gives knowledge that this statue is Melgoran. A raise gives details about his home dimensions. If you have the Of Demons book, which is located in Area 11, then the identity can be found without a roll, and a simple success gives the home dimension, and so on. The doors are not trapped or locked, except for 1-14. Let's see, that one is zone 2. That one is also unlocked. Okay, so none of the doors are locked. Then we move to area 1-23. Was an observatory. This room had a dome-shaped ceiling, most of which is caved in. There are remnants of what might have been a walkway around the edge of the room, about 10 feet off the ground. Most is has crumbled away. There's a nauseating smell in here, and matching the horrible smell in one corner, there is a pile of moldy food and sewage. Another pile is a scene of carnage and butchery with 3 dead goblins torn to bits and surrounded by what's left of their armor, and the doors are not trapped or locked. So either the werewolves got to these or something else got to these goblins. Area 24 was a bathhouse with a 10-foot deep bath in the center of it. I didn't picture it on the map, but lying in wait in here is a giant centipede, which is hungry. It's 24 feet long, and it appears in this Wade Fantasy Companion. The west door is trapped with a mild poison needle, -2 to notice to thievery, and a vigor roll. Failure gives you 1 level of fatigue. Again, randomly rolled trap. Room 25, you can see there's some stuff in here. Room 25 was a theater. This room was a small theater to entertain the inhabitants of the keep. The stage and benches are still mostly intact, as are the walls and ceiling. However, the clinging to the ceiling in here is a slime from Fantasy Companion. They don't have a color to these like greed slime or whatever. It's just called a slime. It will drop on unsuspecting targets. We assume the slime has rolled a 5 on its stealth check, so notice rolls of 6 or higher will detect it. There is treasure in this room. The stage has a hidden compartment toward the back. Notice -4 to detect. So you need a success with a raise unless specifically searching for hidden doors, and then it's just a notice roll straight. Inside is a sack with 250 gold, probably the gate from the last performance before this place was destroyed. Area 26 was an art gallery. It used to be an art gallery with statues and paintings. There are spots on the wall where it's sort of discolored, like the square where the painting hung is a slightly different color from the rest of the wall. There are pedestals that contain statues. There's some smashing bits that were statues. A small circle of runes, no more than a foot around, is off to one side. Each rune is a different color and of unknown origin. The PCs can make an occult roll at -4 or no penalty if they have the Demon's Book. A success is that the runes look like names, and a raise is that the runes are the names of the 6 demons found in this book, and I'll tell you those names in a bit. And the 6 names are the ones that activate the 6 pentagrams. So this is sort of the clue that you can use to figure out which pentagram, or like which names to use. But then you got to figure out which name goes with which pentagram. Room 26. Sorry, that was 26. Room 27 is the smithy. This room has a bellows, a forge, several old anvils. A lot of them are rusted and falling apart. Ceiling blocks appear to be slowly dislodging as plant roots peek through. The door is locked and trapped. Just thievery to open. The trap is a bear trap just inside the door. If you're looking down, you see it automatically. If you don't, you get a notice roll. If you fail, you step in it and take 2d4 and you get entangled. If you crit fail it, you're bound. That's the Savage Worlds state. And then room 28 was a general store. There were shelves mostly empty, cartons and boxes that are mostly empty. Area S over here is a plate trap, a pressure plate trap. So this is like a trap because that's left over, like the guy who owned the general store, right, made a trap so the thieves couldn't get him. This is a burglary prevention technique. It floods the room with a poison gas. Notice -2 to perceive the pressure plate. Thievery -2 to disarm it. And if it's triggered, it's knockout gas, which can incapacitate you for 2d6 hours. The northwest door is stuck. The rest of them are unlocked and open. And that is it for this. The stairs are over here in the northwest section. They lead down to the other level. There's also this trap door here. I don't know what this is here. There's also this trap door here, which leads to the lower level as well. So I'm going to have to figure out, I'm going to have to count how far away these are and figure out where these guys come from, where these guys send you to. The next level is the basement, right? And then the level below this will probably be the dungeon, or maybe the next level will be the basement and the dungeon. Not sure. It'll depend on what cards we draw, which I will do at the end of this episode. So now let's talk about the demons. There are 6 demons. Uzganar is the demon lord of steam who dwells in Isharoth, the countless burning regions. He's an 8-foot-high demon lord with a head and a human head and torso, but the arms and legs and tail of a lion. He has claws on his paw-like hands and feet, and a sharp spike on his otherwise lion-like tail and leathery bat-like wings. I haven't really worked on Vagraxath, but Vagraxath is a spider, so she's the demon queen of spiders and deception. She dwells in Zebralar, the realm of everlasting shadows. Mulgoran, we've done before, is a demon lord of ruin. He appears as a man with a parrot head, etc. So I talked about him already. Then the other 3 are Jolgamaz, the demon queen of the undead. She is a black-skinned child with flaming eyes, has a warhammer in one hand and a book inscribed with the names of the dead who serve her in the other. She wears an elaborate black dress and has powerful telekinetic abilities and dwells in a massive black fortress in the barren marches An endless desert with no sun. That's taken from Fantasy Companion, The Barren Marches. The rest of it's mine. Gizraxal is the next. The demon queen of despair and flies. She appears as a glowing ball of crackling energy that gives off an aura of dread and is accompanied by a massive swarm of flies. She dwells in the Boreas, the Broken Land. And finally, Thosgrok is the demon queen of rage and hatred. She appears as a green-skinned, armored woman riding a giant eagle. She carries a morning star, and her armor appears to be made from golden dragon scales. She's accompanied by a flock of crows, and she's in a constant struggle with Uzganor to control the countless burning regions. So they don't like each other. So those are the 6 demons, and each one of these rooms has a pentagram dedicated to them. So the antechamber, room 8 is Vagraxath. Room 9 is Melgorin. Room 10 is Jolgamaz. Room 11 is Uzganor. Room 12 is Gizraxal. And room 14 is Thosgrok. So those are the correct names for those areas. And those 6 will take you to lower levels. They will not take you to level 2 and probably 3. They'll probably take you to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that's where we stand. And the last thing we need to do is draw for the theme of the very next section, which will be the first section of the basement. So let me shuffle the cards and deal, and then we will end this episode. So I'm going to be posting now. This is going to post on Wednesday, the 1st of February, and then I will post every Wednesday in February and March. And then in April, we're going to be skipping forward to like Saturdays or something again, right? That's if I keep this up. I don't know. I will confess, guys, this level has been a bit of a struggle. I feel like I relied too much on the random tables, and I should do a little more ordering things to happen. So we're going to make goblins happen and probably werewolves happen on the second level, and possibly have a war between them in a couple other areas, and then we'll see who runs the last 2 areas. So let me go to my random table that you can't see here. Themes, and we draw the Jack of Hearts. That theme is noise. So noise is our next theme, guys, and that will happen on the next level. So that's where we stop, and until next time, I am Scrapper Lock, and this has been Dungeon 23.